Greetings, everybody. It's been a wild ride so far. 300 episodes. I've just finished 300 episodes. I figured, what better way to mark this occasion than to do another top 10 video about the worst fruit in the world. Now, the last time that I did a top 10 worst fruit in the world video, that was back at episode 101. So that means there have been 200 episodes since then, and a lot of really bad fruit. So I hope you enjoy this top 10 of terrible, terrible things. Enjoy. It is Gunda. English name for it would be Glueberry. Blueberries don't taste especially bad, but the thing about them that I just can't deal with is that they are slimy. And they aren't just like plain old slimy, they are like mucilaginous. They're so sticky that some cultures actually have a practice of using these berries in order to seal envelopes. When I was trying them, my lips would actually stick together. Now, people do eat these. What they'll do in India is they cook these with a very, very tasty spice mixture, and they'll fry it up all together. And although I did like that spice mixture quite a lot, I would rather put that mixture on just about anything besides blueberries. The texture of this thing is like the bloated grape that you would get at the bottom of like a fruit cup. This is actually, I don't know exactly, but it looks and tastes like an Indian gooseberry. Phyllanthus gooseberries are a popular item throughout India and Southeast Asia. However, they are rarely eaten raw. They're either mixed with water in order to make a drink, they are pickled and used in salads, or they're used as a souring agent in cooking. I tried 3 different varieties of this type of gooseberry, and while all of them were not very good raw, the Laotian gooseberry was especially brutal. It is painfully sour and painfully astringent and has like this kind of chemical taste that's just like really, really difficult to get through. I'm sure like if you used one of those little berries in like a big pot of food, maybe it's fine, but eating that just straight off the tree is bad. Not good. Kind of like odd looking, but I'm pretty sure this is actually a palm fruit. Coconuts are an example of how a palm fruit can have a high fat content and also be completely delicious. Now, Uxi palm is an example of a fruit that has a high fat content that fails miserably. Imagine scraping stale clods of oil off an old deep fryer and then putting those clods in your mouth. That is essentially what this fruit tastes like. It tastes like you're taking like a spoon of oil in your mouth when you eat this. It's actually like, my fingers are actually like shiny. You can probably like see that just from like holding the outside of this thing. This one here is a Limau Kegangsa. When I looked this thing up online, the only reference that I found to it was its use in a magic spell in order to make lucky pennies. I found no reference to it ever being eaten anywhere. So naturally, I tasted it, and as you can imagine, it did not taste very good. It kind of tastes like if you took a swig of lemon-scented dish soap. It's really sour, it's really bitter, it's really astringent. It smells nice. This is a Cempedak right here. Take a look at that guy. It's big. It's as big as my head, and it smells worse than my feet after a long day running in the sun. I love Artocarpus fruits. Jackfruit, breadfruit, meringue, these are so good. Cempedak, though, is an Artocarpus fruit that a lot of people love it, but I can't stand it. It's kind of like how some people really, really love durian, but other people really, really hate it. For me, I can understand durian. I can see why people love it or hate it. For Cempedak, though, I don't understand why people like it. It has a very, very soft and slimy texture, It is really, really overwhelmingly sweet, and it has like this BO funk to it. So I've had it 3 times, and I've even had it deep fried. And even being fried, I couldn't get into it. If you like this fruit, then great. I'm sorry I don't like it. You can have it. It's not too hard to find one of these. However, this is a little trickier. This is what I believe is a ripe tomatillo. Tomatillos may be delicious in salsa verde, but the fruits that are used in salsa verde are typically unripe. If you let one of those tomatillos ripen until they turn yellow, they are god awful. The best way to describe it is if you were to take Parmesan cheese, suck out all of the creaminess, all of the fattiness, and all of the goodness out of it, and instead just left this flat, cheesy funk. That's what you get. Ooh, that is bad. That is not good. Makes total sense to use the green ones. That makes sense. This thing, no.
This is the Woodapple.
Oh man, this one got 2nd place last time I made a top 10 worst fruit video, and it still shines as a dreadful piece of produce. The flesh of the Woodapple looks like dirt, and it tastes like dirt with cheesy eggnog in it. If that sounds like a terrible combination, that's because it is. Some people that saw my video on the Woodapple complained that the one I have was overripe or wasn't good or whatever, and I think a lot of people actually are confusing this for bale fruit, which is sometimes called Woodapple. But this fruit on the screen right here is not bale fruit. This thing tastes bad.
This is Szechuan pepper, which if you've ever had Szechuan style hot pot, you might have tried this.
Szechuan peppercorns are wonderful when they're dry. I use them all the time to add a little bit of their like tongue-tingling spice to either like soups or like a noodle dish or something. But when these are fresh, these things are evil. I ate 2 tiny, little, minuscule pieces of this fruit, and my mouth felt like it was turning inside out. It tastes like chemicals, it makes you salivate buckets of spit, it burns, and it makes your tongue like vibrate. How somebody first learned that you can use this thing as a spice is beyond me, because when you eat one of these things raw, it makes you feel like you're going to die.
Use a little bit of that in cooking would be great, but straight on its own, that is awful.
This, everybody, is a soapberry, also known as a soap nut. As the name suggests, soapberries not only taste exactly like soap, and don't ask me how I know that, but they actually can be used as soap. These little fruits contain saponins, a natural soap compound. Some cultures actually cultivate this fruit in order to be used as like a laundry detergent. And these days, it's even made its way over to the West, where people who want a very mild detergent, like if they have like a baby or they have sensitive skin, they'll use these fruits in order to wash their clothes. The flavor, though, as you can imagine, oh God, no. It is terrible. That my mouth is full of soap suds. That is pretty awful. I don't want to do this. Noni isn't just the worst fruit that I've ever eaten, it's the worst thing that I have ever eaten in general. I would rather eat a handful of soapberries, a bunch of Szechuan peppercorns, and wash it all down with a glass of Woodapple sludge than to eat this horrible turd of a fruit ever again. Oh, and I've had it 3 times now, in 3 different states of ripeness. Unripe noni, which is eaten in Mexico, tastes kind of like horseradish, and it's the least offensive of the 3. It's bad, but it's not nearly as bad as the other 2. A ripe noni tastes like if you were to eat a block of cheddar cheese, vomit that cheese onto a lemon, and then eat that lemon. An overripe noni just makes it stronger. When I ate overripe noni, all I had to do was touch it to my tongue, and it made me immediately start gagging. I have seen this fruit in almost every country that I have visited on this channel. Noni is typically sold as like a miracle cure and boasts a slew of health benefits. But so do hundreds of other fruits. I would recommend using a miracle cure that doesn't taste like barf.
It's not very good.
Typically, it's sold as a miracle cure and boasts a slew of health benefits, but so do It's so noisy, oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god. I love New York. Yeah, hi! The city's on fire, and the cat just pooped. It's not a good time to do a voiceover, guys. Hey, so at the end of this video, there's going to be a preview of next week's fruit, so stay tuned for that. But first, business! I want to give a shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. Patreon is how this channel happens. So if you want to help me out by giving a completely voluntary contribution to my channel, check out the link that's around me right now or in the description below. Big shout out to the channel Smarter Every Day. They help me out a lot on Patreon, so if you haven't heard of them, check them out. I also have t-shirts for sale. These are available on my website, which are also in the link below. If you don't want to give me money, subscribe, click the bell, like, comment, any of that stuff. Alright, thanks so much, guys. Bye.